Pakistan itself. We do know now that the Tehreek-I-Taliban Pakistan has officially warned the Pakistan army. The Pakistani-Taliban chief has called for an attack on the Pakistan army, claiming atrocities by the army itself. They are also heard raising Free Balochistan, Free Pashtunistan, and Free Sindhu Desh slogans. This is coming just 2 days after you've seen that terror attack in Gwadar in Pakistan.
जिहादी और मिली जज्बे से सरशार एक मुहब्ब वतन इस्लामी तहरीक है। मुमलकत खुदादाद पाकिस्तान और आलम इस्लाम की तमाम इस्लामी सरजमीन की आज़ादी, वहदत और इस्तेहकाम अपना दीनी व मिली फरीज़ा समझती है। हर उस मनहूस आवाज़ व सियासत की मजम्मत करती है जो कि मुमलकत खुदादाद पाकिस्तान और आलम इस्लाम के दीगर मुक़द्दस टुकड़ों को तहलील व तकसीम की तरफ ले जाती है। मुमलकत खुदादाद पाकिस्तान की वहदत व वफाक गैर तबई और गैर फितरी था। बंगाली, पंजाबी, पख्तून, सिंधी, बलोच और महाजर मुस्तकिल कौमें हैं। उनको एक साफ में एक झंडे तले पाकिस्तान के नाम से जमा करने वाले कोई मुश्तरका।
So that is the Tehreek-I-Taliban officially warning the Pak army. Now remember, the Taliban earlier has released about 2,300 terrorists. This includes several top commanders of the Tehreek-I-Taliban Pakistan itself. This includes the names of Maulvi Fakir Muhammad. But right now, just days after coming into power, on one side you have the Taliban that has released the terrorists from a number of these prisons. A lot of them again are those who have direct links to Pakistan. On the other side, you have the Tehreek-I-Taliban officially warning the Pak army. And this, viewers, is just coming 2 days after you've seen that terror attack in Gwadar in Pakistan. So what really does this mean? Does Pakistan even realize the real import of the Taliban, of putting the Taliban in charge and in control of Afghanistan, is a question that a lot of analysts really have spoken about. And as I said, just days after it came into power, the Taliban earlier has released more than 2,300 prisoners. And these are not just prisoners, but these are terrorists, mind you, from different prisons in Afghanistan. These include several top commanders of the Tehreek-I-Taliban Pakistan, also from the Al-Qaeda, also those with the links to the Islamic State. Among them that who've released is also the Maulvi Fakir Muhammad, who is the former deputy chief of the Tehreek-I-Taliban Pakistan, that, remember, is an anti-Pakistan terrorist organization itself. And now you have the Tehreek-I-Taliban officially warning the Pak army for what they believe are atrocities that have been committed by the Pakistan army. You can also hear them raising slogans saying Free Balochistan, Free Pashtunistan, and Free Sindhu Desh. Colonel Rohit Dev Saab joining us right now. Colonel Saab, a very good evening to you. Does Pakistan really realize what it is doing? On one side, you have the Tehreek-I-Taliban officially warning the Pak army. The Taliban on the other side has released so many terrorists in the last few days that includes top commanders of the Tehreek-I-Taliban Pakistan itself.
This is going to take a little, if I may say, an ugly shape in the future, because what has happened is, I'll tell you, the withdrawal of U.S. troops and the Taliban there coming to power was sort of a planned thing insofar as the world was concerned. The U.S. did that, and the president did say he struck a deal with the Taliban. But when you go to the ASPAC region and you see TTP and other elements of terrorists who have been homegrown in Pakistan in the yesteryears, these groups are now getting a lot of heart to say that Taliban did this, and so can we. And that is a challenge which I'm quite afraid that neither Qureshi nor Imran Khan can comprehend. But General Bajwa, or Trader Bajwa as we call him here, will be knowing it quite well. And I think they have militarily goofed up there. And there will be a situation, I think I did mention on your channel a few days back, that you will again find these attack helicopters in the northern regions and trying to kill more of their own citizens whom they have bred as terrorists over the years. So it will come back to the same situation where we were in the late 90s and before that. And Pakistan will go under that turmoil itself. And the influence along the Durand Line, the ASPAC region, you will find a lot of resistance against the Pakistani army, which has not let any democratic process thrive in that region. They have purged all, so to say, elections. They have put their own stooges in the power seats there. They have maimed people. They have attempted genocide. They have killed people. They have put ex-military veterans into those sparse lands as landholders and tried to displace the originals from the POK. So all this, when you do against humans and society, obviously it will haunt you back. And time has come. Time has come. Hillary Clinton said a long time ago, snakes in their backyard. So the snakes in their backyard are going to now sting Pakistan a little more harder. Not only that, the world is going to take notice of this. You have enough noises being made, in the world against Pakistan now. The FATF must keep a watch. And we must now start preparing and, consolidating our dossiers against Pakistan, whether it's India or any other country, against their ethos and ideology of terrorism. We must utilize this opportunity to do it better. You see a lot of arms are flowing and ammunition per se is flowing into Pakistan. Surely it will be tried to be used against India. But my fear is most of it is going to be in the terrorist hand to infiltrate or do whatever. They are going to use it against Pakistan as well. So Pakistan has got a double-edged sword right now, dangling on its head, and it better be, prudently handled at their level. Otherwise, they will have a lot of problem in their own territory, and they can keep crying about how terrorism has affected them the most. The short answer is that they have been the harbingers of terrorism, they have been the perpetrators of terrorism, and they have bred terrorism for the last three and a half decades on their soil, and from there only it has emanated to the balance of the world, including India. So they have to pay a price.
Absolutely.
And they will.
Thank you, Colonel Rohit Devsar, for speaking to us. I also want to say good evening to Major General Dhruv Katoch, who's been very patiently holding the phone line here. Major General Saab, we are learning that both Islamabad and Rawalpindi are now putting pressure on the Taliban leadership in Kabul to take action against the Tehreek-I-Taliban Pakistan. But, I think you know this better than any one of us, that is absolutely not happening. But then look at what Pakistan has raised in the form of Taliban.
You're absolutely right. You see, please look into just one aspect. It is the ideological construct. Now, the ideological construct of the Afghan Taliban and the Tehreek-I-Taliban Pakistan is exactly the same. Both of them want an Islamic compliant Sharia state. So they are fighting for the same issues. Now, to expect the TTP has already supported the Afghan Taliban for a very long time, and this is not the time when the Afghan Taliban, which is an ideological party, is going to let go and discard the TTP. So I think Pakistan is in for a very long struggle. The TTP is a very potent force, and they have been fighting the Pakistan military and the Pakistani government for a very long time because they desire a Sharia-compliant Pakistan. Now, in my view, their problems are going to increase tremendously because now it is an ideological fight. As far as Balochistan is concerned, I think what the TTP is doing is they are simply building alliances of all people who are against the Pakistan military. And to that extent, I think they will support the Balochistan movement. But please remember, there is a difference between the two movements. Balochistan wants an independent Balochistan. However, the TTP wants a Sharia-compliant Pakistan. So there are two different constructs, and I do not think that the Balochistan movement and the TTP can cooperate for long. But the TTP is certainly going to hit out against the Pakistan military and make it very expensive for them.
I think that's a good point. That's a good point that you do raise. And before I let you go, Major General Saab, what should India be doing? Because New Delhi right now is not just carefully watching, I think, what is playing out here in this part of the subcontinent, but also, I think, some bit of noises or the lack of it from countries like the US. I mean, do you somewhere believe that the US for far too long has been really, really soft on Pakistan?
You see, the way I look at it, I'd just like to explain it in two ways. One, firstly, as far as India is concerned, what is happening in Afghanistan, the blowback to India will be very, very limited. A lot of people are saying that the terrorists, the Taliban will move from there once Afghanistan is taken and moved to Kashmir. Now, what is preventing Pakistan from doing so right now? There are enough terrorists in Pakistan who want to come to Kashmir. Now, why are they not coming? They are not coming because we have not allowed them to come. There is a difference. Political establishment now in Kashmir, and the Indian army will not let them get through. So, the entire environment has changed, and Pakistan will not succeed even if they attempt it. On the international stage, I think the situation is a bit more critical. I think the United States and the European powers need to get their act together. They have been fighting the Taliban in Afghanistan. Now, that is the wrong strategy because the Taliban was not located in Afghanistan. The epicenter was in Pakistan. Now, if the Americans and NATO have still not realized it, then I think they are playing a very foolish game and they will lose. But I think the Americans and the Europeans have got it right now. You will find over a period of time pressure being put on Pakistan. You will find economic sanctions coming on Pakistan and aid to Afghanistan being restricted. So I think the situation is still very fluid. It has to play out for some more time. But India, I think the Indian government stance, I think, is absolutely correct. We will continue to work with the people of Afghanistan, but I see no reason why we should be in a hurry to recognize the Taliban.